So the way Daigo described it is that older games were about the speed of making decisions, and modern games are about studying the situation. If I'm playing something like City of the Wolves, right, and someone knocks me down and then does whiff jump, whiff jab, and then does like some crazy meaty on me, right? Like, you notice something about City of the Wolves is that every knockdown gives you free pressure. In that game is like plus 30 something. Like, there's almost never a situation where you knock someone down that you can't just run up to them and be like, hi, I'm next to you now, have fun. But if that was the case in Street Fighter 6 or Street Fighter 5, like, the game would be, like, broken, right? People would be like, why does he get Oki after every, like, some changes are like, okay, well, now when Rashid does this, he doesn't have enough Oki to get the Isar off, and now all of a sudden he dropped in tears, according to Japan. But like in City of the Wolves, it's like, I hit you, I touched you, you fell over, let me run over to you. Oh, I still have like 20 frames to kill here before I meet you. What should I do? You really couldn't give a crap how minus you are, because most likely you have an invincible DP. You have a guard, you have just defend into 0 frame super, you know, you have the ability to roll left and right on the wake up, you have like, dude, there's just like so many mechanics that can just get you out of these situations. There's literally no reason for you to study the situations. And so what happens is the game is just about, here's a decision to make, what are you gonna do? Here's a decision to make, what are you gonna do? Here's a decision you're gonna make, what do you do? Whereas if you play Street Fighter 6 and Ryu throws you and then dashes up in the corner, so he throws you in the corner and dashes up. Is he minus or plus? Do you know if he's minus or plus? Because if he's plus, this is a completely different situation than if he's minus. Kimberly, if she throws you in the corner and dashes forward, is she minus or plus? Do you know? Do you know if she's minus or plus? If you don't know the answer to that, you don't know how to fight it. And you are at an extreme disadvantage. Because if this was Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, and I threw you into the corner and dashed up, you couldn't give a crap. I can wake up super, you know? Like, it doesn't matter. But like in a lot of like the Street Fighter games, you have to know these situations. If Ken does strong, fierce, run into Tatsu, what are you scared of at this point? What are you scared of? Do you know that Ken can get a meaty overhead on you, that he can link off of that? And so now on that particular setup, you have a meaty overhead to be scared of? Like, do you know that situation? And that is the difference between a heart and a mind game right there. Mind games limit your options a lot more so that the situation describes to you what the mix-ups are, who has an advantage, whose turn it is. That's just the thing, right? So that's the biggest difference right there. CP skills, given what you said about Daigo meaty DP, do you think more people should think like that with regards to throw loops in the corner? I often think that because everyone agrees that you should just take the throw. It makes the 50-50 mix-up that much stronger, so the attacker just keeps doing it. In Street Fighter 6, we can be guaranteed to do a meaty throw to beat your wake-up button 100% of the time. It beats every DP. The only thing that wins is an ODDP. In the Street Fighter 6 situation, you are at such an incredible disadvantage that it is terrible for the defender. That's why they take so many throws. Because even if you take 5 throws in a row, that was 4 times that they might have not thrown, that you could have pressed the button or jumped out or gotten away. But if you try to throw tech or DP and they shimmy, and shimmy beats both throw tech and wake up DP, you will lose 60% of your life. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it, right? And, you know, with a lot of these older games, like, yeah, City of the Wolves has tons of damage too as well. But you're rewarded for tons of damage in like every way, shape, or form, right? Like everything leads to big damage. So yes, even if you wake up with a light DP and beat them, it doesn't necessarily give you big damage or anything. But now, guess what? I knocked you down with this 1 DP and I'm gonna run up to you and now it's my turn to do something crazy. If I wake up with an ODDP in Street Fighter 6, not only can I die if they actually block it? If I hit you, I get nothing. Every character in Street Fighter V and Street Fighter VI, when they wake up with an ODDP and they hit you, they get nothing. They get no Oki, they get no pressure, nothing, right? And so what's your reward for landing that? Whereas like in Fatal Fury, the risk and reward is like a little more balanced. Power Ranger X, Shimmy is walking backwards out of their throw range, making them whiff their throw, and then just punching them in the face and doing a giant combo, right? And so from the defensive side in Street Fighter 6 and Street Fighter 5, if I wake up with a DP and I'm right, I get out of the corner and I get nothing. I get no Oki, I get no pressure, I get nothing. So I just got myself slightly out of the corner and knocked them down, cool, right? If I'm wrong, oh, by the way, this move gets super punish counter and lets the opponent set up like their longest setup and most damaging setup, etc., right? If the offensive person goes for a throw and I tech it, guess what? I'm still in the corner. I'm still trapped. What the hell am I supposed to do at this point? Like, it could go back to the throw loop really easily, right? If I press a button because they shimmy and like maybe I hit them a little bit or something like that, like, oh, cool. Did it really change everything for me? So pressing a button against the shimmy is the most rewarding for the defensive player. That is by far the most defensive option. But that's why you see a lot of players at the highest levels waking up with crouch medium kick now. Because they're just reading the shimmy and they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna crouch medium kick drivers cancel. If he shimmies, I hit him, right? But again, if you're wrong and they put a media attack in you, guess what? They're gonna hit you with a button that's either gonna like counter hit you into like some sort of crazy stun state, or they have like 10 years to confirm into a big old combo that probably does like 50% damage, right? So like every time you're wrong, you lose a giant chunk of life except when you take the throw. But guess what? You're just back in the exact same situation again. And so now you have to deal with that again. This is why people get throw looped. And so when you see someone get throw looped and someone's like, these guys are scrub, why wouldn't you tech? Why wouldn't you wake up DP? The reason is because if you're wrong on those, you lose 60% of your health. And so the risk reward factor is, I'm just hoping that this guy is going to be scared that I'm gonna tech or that I'm gonna wake up DP so he doesn't throw me. I'm just gonna take that chance. They have actively made the choice to just get thrown 9 times in a row because they're just hoping, and you see it all the time, throw, and then the guy walks up and then shimmies, or the guy walks up and presses a button. A lot of times, the throw looper isn't brave enough to go for 3 or 4 throws in a row. And so most of the time, taking 3 or 4 throws in a row pays off for them. And in the rare instance where the other guy actually calls them out and says, you know what, I'm gonna throw you 5 times in a row, and then it works, like, that's when everybody watches and are like, God, I can't believe he didn't try anything. But you don't realize that 90% of the time, taking the throw 4 times in a row saved their life, as opposed to that one match that you saw, and then you're just like, just tech. There's a way to counter, just tech. Like, people don't understand that at all, right? Yes, Holmes, Vortex is very similar, but almost kind of worse.